So what are your priorities as of now?
Where we are at the moment is that organisations that have got involved with integrated reporting to date and the individuals that have got involved, one could call the innovators. They already are trying and thinking in a vein that's towards integrated reporting and integrated thinking. We now need to create that same momentum with what I would call the early adopters.
Yeah.
Okay, we're not after mass adoption. I don't think the market's ready for it. I think it would end up being compliance and assurance driven, which leads to more.
Yeah.
So we still need that evolution, but we do need to make a step up. And then the step up really needs to go to those who are likely to be interested in integrated reporting, but perhaps haven't cottoned onto it yet. Mm-hmm. And also those who are already doing more reporting and starting to not just do the annual report, but thinking broader. That's who we need to get involved.
What have you've been running pilot programs? Yeah. What has been coming out of those? What have you learned from the pilot programs?
I think the biggest lesson we've learned, I mean, the biggest benefit we've gained is their insight to the framework. Right. So, tick. We've got a framework. It's not as though it's stuck in stone, but we're there. And actually, the pilot program has been successful, I believe, because we have a framework that is fit for purpose. Okay, so that's great. If you're asking me the things that we've learned, I think there are two aspects. The first is the importance of integrated thinking. Again, it's a piece of jargon, but it basically means breaking down the silos and understanding the strategy of the business, not just at the level of the CEO and the board, but actually down into the silos and the departments and the business units. And I don't think I certainly wasn't expecting that to be such a fundamental piece of change in businesses. In some businesses, they've got it already, don't get me wrong. But in others, it's really brought that to the fore. The second piece is actually from the past that needs to go into the future now, even more so, is providing evidence that this is actually valuable. Yeah. So why are we doing this? Mm-hmm. I use the set phrase, that reporting influences behaviour. Okay, because otherwise why are we bothering? Influences behaviour. But does it? Yeah. And that's not just the behaviour within the companies, but also the behaviour of markets and things like that. And we've really, really got to start getting into the depths of that. Not just us. We need to be almost the collation point. Yeah. There's a great piece of work that came out, I think it was last week, from Harvard Business School, a professor there called George Serafin. And George has done quite a lot of work on integrated reporting, and with the companies that are doing integrated reporting, what do their investor base look like as against others? And the findings of that research are actually that you've got longer term, more stewardship type investors in these major corporates who are doing integrated reporting as against the transient investors that are dominating the market too much for the sustainability of markets at the moment. And that's just a snapshot of the sort of evidence we need to start finding at both ends.
Because people talk about investors as being the elephant in the room, and it's never been quite clear. I mean, you and I know that investors ought to get this, but it's never been quite clear as to how far they have got it, as it were. What are you seeing on that front?
You can't just think about investors in one group. However, what we find is that at the moment, the way that investors tend to look at a company is from data and information up, and then they're looking to then they go and interrogate the company, etc., looking for the market mechanisms and the strategy of the company. What integrated reporting brings, and it's a great phrase, is actually it enables them to look at the company through the door of strategy, rather than only through data. So you either come through data, but you still need to be understanding the strategy, or you come through strategy to what interests you in data, or both. Yeah. But I think at the moment there hasn't been that piece. And one of our challenges, going back to the challenges, one of our challenges is to get investors to realise that this is going to be available to them. You don't have to wait to the one-to-one briefings. And don't forget, in most cases, the asset managers have decreased in size, number of people, number of resources. So how are they going to get to that information? And integrated reporting is one of the keys. We need to educate them.